But yeah, it's all in like this art style. It's like drawn.
Oh, this is the whole game?
Yeah, it's in like a drawn art style, which is really cool. It's got like a gradient kind of thing going. All right.
In Modern War, you will die like a dog for no good reason. Epic.
Yeah, welcome gamers. This war of mine.
This is going to be so awkward whenever we're looking back on this after World War III.
Right. Yeah. But this is a dark, gritty kind of survival game. For anybody who hasn't seen it, we're just gonna click survive, and it's gonna put us in a random story.
A random story?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's got like a set couple of stories because they give you one that's quote unquote easier. I love the art style in this game. I think it's very creative. It's very cool.
Oh, this looks so familiar.
But it's going to give you a random couple survivors, give you a little bit of background on them. Looks like I got Pavel. That's probably the cook. I forget his name. Bruno. No, that's him. That's the cook. Bruno, I think's his name.
It looks like Fallout Shelter.
Is this the story with Katya? I don't think that's Katya.
It also looks like Valiant Heart, which I had to look up because it looks so much like
But that's
this
definitely
one.
Bruno and Pavel. Pavel's dope.
Oh, now it's looking like an escape room.
How long has this siege lasted? It's hard to say when every day is a struggle for survival. The city is crawling with snipers. Shelling is ordinary business almost every night. Phones don't work. There's a shortage of food and meds, and many people are left homeless. Bruno and Marco, that's Marco, have always been good friends. So when the war broke out, they decided Bruno.
Okay.
Pavel, Bruno, Marco.
Okay.
Bruno and Marco have always been good friends. So yeah. So when the war broke out, they decided to stick together. They met Pavel while scavenging for supplies. He used to be Pogorin's star football player. Now he's just another homeless victim of war. So they teamed up hoping for the best.
Oh gosh, there's so many icons.
They've got little bios. Pavel, before this whole mess begun, I lived with my wife and son in the better part of the city. I haven't seen them in a long time. I hope they're okay. I'm not doing so well, as you can see. Who needs football players during war? Nobody cares about sports when every day can be their last. So I scavenged the ruins like everyone else, hoping for the best. Drag for more, but there's nothing there yet. So like as your days go by.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Like a diary.
Yeah, it's like a diary. And they all have a stat. Pavel's a fast runner. That's why he's good. That's important in certain scenarios. You got Bruno. He's a good cook. Not the most useful. He's also a smoker, so he's a whiny fucking bitch. He's always crying there's no cigarettes. Before the war, I used to own a restaurant. I even had my own TV show, Bruno's Cuisine. I'm sure you've seen it. I visited beautiful places where I was filmed cooking exquisite dishes. All that seems of no importance now, don't you think? Nowadays, you're lucky if you get your hands on some canned meat or a bag of rice, and who knows how long this war is going to last. So he's a good cook. It is useful.
He's like Sanji from One Piece.
Yeah.
Good cook and
like
smart.
And then Marco, he's a skilled scavenger, which is good. I thought I'd been through hell before. I'm a fireman. I've entered blazing buildings to save lives more times than I care to remember. But back then I had people teamed up against a common foe, namely the fire. Nowadays your former neighbor can kill you because your grandparents spoke a different language than his. This is true hell on earth. So he's a skilled scavenger, which means that he does all of these things faster. So you can send everybody off to do something. He's slightly wounded. Normally you'd want them to rest or something like that.
So
from the other side.
Is the game you move from house to house or something?
This is your home base. So this is scavenging. Normally your character would have an inventory, but because we're at home, everything that we grab just goes straight to your inventory. They give you a bunch of free resources to start with. And then like this is a locked door. That's more supplies. There's a crafting bench. I don't know what that is. That's scavenging. I think that's scavenging too. He's got to dig this little thing. So that's a locked room. It's barred from the other side, which means he needs to come around and do this.
There's just so many icons.
Oh, why are you going the wrong way? I need you to come this way, buddy.
Are these things they need to do? Or
yes.
Okay.
So all of there's door icons. So because you can open and close door. I need you to go up these stairs, Marco. You're killing me. There's door icons because you can do certain things with doors. Like you can look through the peephole because there's stealth sections and stuff. Mm-hmm. The hands are like little scavenging things, just to eat, use your medicine, stuff like that. The first day, your goal is to just really try. Like I got a lockpick, which is a stealthy way to go through a door that may or may not be more important. For the home base, I like to make a crowbar, because a crowbar lets you. It's not a single use item, and with a crowbar, you might need to sneak, or not with a crowbar, with a.
Is it like a randomized story every time, or how does it work?
The characters have their own stories.
Ew, they blink. They blink in the corner.
Yeah, they do. Like the characters have their own stories, and the combination of characters you get might be different. There's even custom stories.
This feels like the board game Haunted House on a Hill or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
Yeah, it's got that vibe.
But see, now I can make a little metal workshop, and that will let me make a crowbar. They always give you the materials to make one, which is nice. But you got your daytime up here, your temperature, which
when did the day start?
There's settings. Yes. Pencil effects off, blah 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 blah. Temperature scale. Fahrenheit. We use freedom units in America. Because that 23 Celsius meant nothing to me. But now I know it's a mild temperature. It's good. Because winter is a bitch. But again, this is kind of like a tutorial, more or less. Again, it doesn't explain much. But
yeah, if I saw this, I'd be screw this, and I'd refund it immediately.
Would you really?
Yeah.
You're not into this?
I'm fine looking at it.
Yeah. I mean, the game doesn't explain much to you, so it can be overwhelming. But it's all about managing your people. I mean, this, you can take as long as you want on this. It doesn't actually matter. I didn't mean to tell him to do that. That's valuable. That's nice. They all share the tool. So, like, he just used the crowbar, but it's just in your inventory, so he can use it too. But, I mean, you can do this over 10 days if you need to. The first time I played it, God knows I wasn't any good at it. I didn't know what was going on. But there's actually an achievement for doing it all in one day, which is nice. We're well on track. I think the day ends at 6.
Whose day ends at 6?
So during the day, you stay here because there's so much shelling and there's like militias in the street and stuff. Like it's a war zone.
Oh yeah.
So during the day, you stay home, you hunker down, and at night that's when you scavenge. So the day ends at I think it's 6 o'clock. So then you can go out and scavenge, and then you have to be back before sunrise.
What dangers are out? Like where do you go out to?
You would leave on this side of the screen. This is your front door. I mean, you can't leave until night, or you can end your day early if you're done with everything.
Day. You like this because it's like Pikmin.
What? Boom, 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 boom.
You're just telling people what to do and then ending the day.
I'm actually going to have him sit because he is sick.
It also has some like Sims vibes.
I mean, I can see what you're...
Like he's sick. His personality's complaining.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I see where you're
coming
coming
from. You have
from.
them do stuff. There's a time.
I think this is all that's left to scavenge. It's all that I see. Which means we can end the day.
How? There's a basement, and then there's a basement for the basement. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. So we found bandages, meds, raw food. There's actually a technique people use where you don't loot what's in your house, because you can actually get robbed at night while you're gone. But I'm a pro gamer. I just grab everything. I don't need those little pussy tactics. Yeah, that's everything. See, finish ransacking, achievement unlocked. So I'm going to go ahead and end the day. But it is a smart move, and there's really hard scenarios where like you do have to do that. There's a challenge mode some people play where you do one survivor, and I don't see how you do it. So at night, it gives you a map of the place, and they give you information on it. So half of it's a ruin, but there are people living in the other half. They don't seem friendly. At night, you can sometimes hear shots fired from there. We could probably scour the abandoned part for supplies if we manage to sneak past the inhabited part. Most of these places will have 2 scenarios, 2 different ones that you could have, and it's randomized when you start a map. So this one can be friendly. There can be traders there, but we got this one where they're assholes. So you can't trade with them. The decrepit squat has been inhabited by the homeless since long before the war. They've always been struggling with the lack of food and might not have survived the recent shortages. They shouldn't be a threat, and we could find some useful things here.
Josh, for the thumbnail, we got to take a picture like that.
One of these?
Get some dirt on our face.
That'd be a good idea. And the shelled cottage. This neighborhood recently got shelled and many houses are still burning. People were fleeing for their lives in a hurry, so we may find some useful stuff there without meeting anyone.
That sounds good.
That's good. That's a good place. And then that's our shelter. So what we're going to do, Marco's slightly sick, Pavel's slightly wounded, so they really need to sleep. We don't have beds yet.
And since there's not going to be anybody at that place, you can just send one?
Well, you can only send one. Only one person can scavenge.
That's weird.
But see, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Bruno guard because he's perfectly fine. He has no problems. Every time you start a scenario, somebody's sick, somebody's wounded, something like that usually. But you can see Marco has a bag 15. He can hold the most because he's a skilled scavenger. He's gonna be my scavenger. I don't care that he's sick. That's not that big a deal. And then he's wounded. I'm gonna have him sleep. So we're gonna shell cottage. And then this is where you would pick what you're gonna bring with you. Could need a crowbar, but I'm not going to bother. Not for my first trip, because you want to have all the space you can. Because you're on a timer. So, you can see that ring around me is the noise. I know there's no threats here, so I'm not worried about it. You're always looking for components in wood. Generally, what I do is I start scavenging everything. I pick up everything I can. Oh, good lord. All right, well, that's everything I can carry. I guess I'll show you this. If you're sneaking, you can look through the peepholes. And see this rat over here?
Yeah.
We can see him, so we know what the noise is. I guess it's not a good example. Usually, when there's something making noise, you'll see like little red footprint, like the little bubble that I make when I make a noise. It'll be like a red one.
But there's nobody here. From what we know.
So there's a shitload of food and water. This is a huge find. We have food already. I'm going to grab these vegetables. I don't need a toy right now.
Well, do you ever need a toy?
I don't actually know if I have the little ones installed or not, which was a mod that added children that you have to take care of.
Oh,
it makes it a lot harder. I don't know if that mod's installed or that expansion.
What are those? Is that wood?
Yeah, wooden components. You use those to build like everything. We will absolutely be coming back here again, and I don't need sugar is a good trade item. Water is essential. Food is essential, but I'm not going to carry them right now. The vegetables are good because I can have Bruno cook. But usually what I like to do is when I have spare time to make future trips easier, I put everything in one container. So that when I come back, all I got to do is click on one container. And then you can just grab whatever you need. And then places will have little notes and stuff that give you more story. Medicine's good. I can get a shovel to dig through these easier.
Like why they ran?
Yeah. Or whatever happened at that location. See, there's a little red. But that's just a mouse.
Yeah.
Just a funny mouse. So now I would want to bring a shovel. These boxes are almost always locked. This is probably locked. A lot of components. Yep, that's locked.
Do you have your crowbar?
I do not. I don't usually bring them with me on the first trip unless I know that I need it. But just to make this easier, there's nothing left to search at the moment. So we'll grab what's left in here. We can get our inventory ready, and then we can start digging a pile because it takes time. You can speed it up with a shovel. but shovels aren't really that necessary. So I want vegetables. And then we'll bring 16 of those. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. It's a lot of sugar. 3 stacks of sugar. Bring the water. I'll bring the herbal meds and we'll see if we can get our boy healthy.
Yeah.
Because herbal meds are a lot cheaper. So we'll just have him start on that, and it's just going to take a little bit of time. So what do you think of the game so far? You would have gave up, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Not your cup of tea.
Oh wow, that does take some time.
Yeah. It's probably twice as fast with a shovel, but it takes an inventory spot.
Yeah.
So like there's one location that I know of that I like to bring a shovel. It's like a school, because there's a ton of piles. But for the most part, you know, you don't need it, especially if it's an area you're going to come back to several times, like here. I just can't physically carry all the stuff. There's a lot of goodies here, and I have, as you can see up here, I have plenty of time.
Yeah.
I think 5 o'clock is your danger area where you like have to leave. I don't remember exactly, but this is probably going to be locked. So I want to come back with a crowbar because there's 2 places that are locked, and I don't need stealth. So
I like the art style.
I love the art. It's got a really cool.
It's got an intro to The Walking Dead vibe.
Yeah. But I like how it's all blurry when you can't see it, but like this sliver.
Yeah.
That's where my point of view is, because I can see up the stairs. Which is really neat. But we'll check, and that's probably locked. Yep. So we'll work on this other one. But you know, for a map like this, if you don't have time, or if you have multiple trips, you have plenty of time, because like the way I do things, I only have one spot I need to check. I can grab whatever I need, and then I can spend the rest of the night just doing a task like this. But it gets really intense. It can be really hard to manage your happiness and stuff, because I mean you can literally have your characters kill themselves if they get depressed. So like you can't rob people constantly, because your people are going to get depressed. Like each person has their own personality. So for example, Marco and Pavel are pretty stoic, I would say. So like if you kill somebody, they're really gonna like, it's gonna affect them deeply. Bruno doesn't really care as much. He's more out for himself. So he might not get depressed while somebody else does. There's like a broken status effect where somebody like is so depressed they won't even move. You can't tell them to do anything anymore.
Wow.
You can have another character give them a pep talk, and that's about it. So if somebody gets into the broken state, they might kill themselves. It's hard to manage. There's one more stack here. What do we got? Ooh, okay. These parts right here, you always want to be on the lookout for those. These 2 electrical parts, weapon part, all 3 of these types of parts, honestly. Jewelry is really nice for trade goods. I'm gonna go ahead and dump all my wood. I'll just move that stack real quick. And then I'll come back, get the wood, and we'll leave for the night. That should be enough inventory space. Grab all. I don't know if we'll get a trader this day, so I don't know if I want to bring the valuables back. I think I'd rather build. We'll have trade goods. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 16, 14. I think I grabbed the parts. I'll take them. It doesn't matter. That's good. And then you can always just hit run to exit, and they'll take the quickest path out. See the dead body hanging in the window?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Marco's back.
And then this is where you find out if you got raided, if you lost anything, if anybody got hurt defending themselves, that kind of thing. Usually in the early days, nothing really happens.
How many days are there?
It's random. I think
it says day 2. The war is over.
But there's a breakdown of your supplies. Nothing happened, so that's good. So he's hungry. He's slightly sick, and he's tired.
Fix up some.
I want him to get some medicine because I want him to get better. He's gonna be my main survivor. Pavel's slept poorly. He's hungry. He's slightly wounded. I'm not gonna waste bandages.
They're all complaining.
Yes, they will complain the entire game. And then Bruno is hungry and tired. So something the game doesn't really teach you. You can keep your people hungry. That's fine. That's the method that I use. So I'm gonna try and see if I have enough for a stove. I do. I like to put it in the kitchen because that's where it belongs. See if we can make some beds. I usually put them in the basement.
You're making beds on the stove?
No. This is a crafting bench.
Oh, okay.
That's the stove that he's building now.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So as a good rule of thumb, you only need enough beds
for 2 people.
For 2 people, yeah, because I have 3. Because one person, you have enough time that somebody who scavenges can come in, they can eat, they can do whatever they need to do, and then they can go to bed and sleep for the day. He's going to sleep longer because he's slightly sick. We're not going to eat today because everybody's just hungry. We're not very hungry. So he's slightly sick. I want to use him tonight, so he's going to go straight to bed. Pavel's going to see if we can make another bed. We sure can. Put it down there.
So it's going to take an hour to make?
Yeah. Can I upgrade the stove yet?
Oh, time moves super quick.
Need more components. Upgrading the stove means it takes less water or fuel. Yeah, saving fuel. It's nice. No, it's Bruno uses less water because he's a good cook. I think that's what it.
So how do you know when hungry is a problem? Like, does it say like starving or something, or hungry and it's red?
It'll go hungry, very hungry, starving, and I think they die after that. I'm not sure. I've actually never had anybody starve to death in my playthroughs, which is nice.
What's that? 3 days without eating?
I think it takes 3 or 4, something like that. But he's going to recover on his own just by sleeping. He's only slightly wounded. I normally wouldn't waste medicine on him, but I found the herbal medicine. It's got like a 50% chance of working. And it's cheap. And there was those 2 of them. Might as well. But like I said, nobody's going to eat today. Everybody's hungry. And everybody's tired. I like to at least keep... You can let them get very tired. That's not a big deal. But I try not to. So
do they go slower or anything?
Yeah. I like to wait until 12. I think 12 is when you might get a trader. They typically come every 2 or 3 days. They're one of my favorite characters. Her name's Katja. She's got the ability that she's good at bartering, and that helps a lot. Not a whole lot to do right now. Maybe I can see what else I can craft. What I'm aiming for. We won't need another bed. I don't usually bother with chairs. You can make armchairs later, which they provide more happiness. You can have like books and guitars and stuff like that that make your people less likely to want to die, essentially. Rainwater collectors are nice. Have a metal workshop. I don't usually worry about moonshine stills. There's good ways to be pacifistic and just like make moonshine and cigarettes and stuff and sell them. But I don't need filters till I get a water. Don't necessarily need fuel yet. It's not bad to start getting it, but not much for this day. I would like to get these upgraded. I just need components and wood. Just components for that. And then I needed components for this. If I can upgrade this before we cook tomorrow, that would be good. Basically now I'm just waiting until one of these wake up so I can put Bruno to sleep.
And then you end day?
And then I'll end day. Because like they'll finish resting and stuff if I end day now.
But you want him to sleep too?
Yeah, but I want him to get some sleep because he's going to guard again.
Is there anything else to do?
At the moment, no. I just don't have the resources to build anything.
Is there any place where you can hide stuff so it doesn't get stolen?
No. If I upgrade this, you get better options. You can patch up some of the holes in your shelter.
Does that do
You
anything?
can reinforce the door. Yeah, it decreases the likelihood you get robbed.
Oh, okay.
No, it doesn't make it warmer. You can make a heater, and you'll have to start supplying that with fuel, which, oh my god, winter's a bitch, trying to keep everything hot enough, but I'll need a heater.
Does winter just randomly come?
Actually, I need to see what I need to make a radio. I need a radio.
Summer.
Radios are pretty cheap. I just need components. You'll see the temperature gradually drop. Oh, I didn't know you could just click on it. That's nice. But you'll see the temperature gradually start to drop, and if you have a radio, you can actually tune to the radio or the weather station, and it'll give you weather forecasts and stuff, and it'll tell you like, "Ooh, winter's coming," like the meme. But fuck it, I'm not gonna wait on this dude anymore. They're injured. They didn't even get up. So, but like I said, he can be very tired. All he'll have to do is cook and eat in the morning. So I'm just gonna have him guard anyway. He's slightly sick and on meds. He's gonna sleep, and we're still slightly wounded. We're gonna scavenge. So you can see we got new areas. St. Mary's Church is still a place of meetings for the local community. Priest Olek is known for his charitable work and offering refuge to the poor. He might have something to give away or trade. The vestry behind the church is devastated and abandoned. We could find some useful materials there.
Caution advised.
This one, we got the good one. Or, well, I guess it depends on your view, but this one has a trader, and you can go to the vestry behind the church like it says, and you can scavenge it. It's devastated.
I see that there's enough space for 5 people. Is there an option just to recruit people? Or
yeah, you can get more people. Or sometimes people will...
The children.
I don't think I ever did get that expansion for this. I think I only had it on PS4. But yeah, children too. But people can come to your door sometimes and be like, "Oh, please, you're the only people who've answered the door." It's, and you can choose to send them away, or you can have them join you. But anyway, the other one of this, the other version of this, Oleg gets killed, and there's a bunch of raiders living there, and it sucks. Garage. Before the war, you could have your car repaired there. It was a decent family business run by an impulsive son and his elderly father. If they still live there, they might be willing to trade with us. Alternatively, we might find lots of useful parts there and maybe even some food. I'm not that familiar with the garage. But we visited here, and it'll even tell you how much percentage of shit is left or taken or whatever. I'm actually not sure which that percentage is, but it tells you how long ago you visited and stuff. But I'm going to go there this time with a crowbar.
So you can get the rest of the stuff that was locked.
Yes.
This is the end of the episode, but here's a clip of us trying to get the video started at the beginning.
Well,
did it lag out?
I have no idea.
How'd you do that?
Control-Alt-Delete.
Oh.
Did you not know that?
I thought that destroyed the game or destroyed something.
No. You didn't know what Control-Alt-Delete was?
I thought Control-Alt-Delete like turned off the computer.
Bro. It can bring up your task manager and stuff.
Oh.
That's what you use when something's not responding.
Oh.
How do you not know that? You're like a computer whiz.
Well,
your computer costs more than my car.
Well, when this happens, I hit Control Escape.
Oh.
And then like I'll hit Control Escape and then right click an empty spot.
It stopped responding. All right. We got 3 seconds in.